Okay. So thank you, Wendy, so much for your time. I would love to have a group of students in front of you listening. We just have a virtual group at the moment, but I wonder if you could introduce yourself to the students.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Susan. And my name's Wendy Coombe. I'm the founder of a health promotion charity called Animal Therapies Limited.
Thank you. When did Animal Therapies Limited start? Can you tell me a little bit about the background to getting it going?
Sure. Well, I established the charity on the 21st of February 2018. And it was on the back of something that happened to me, my own personal experience, where I was in a very senior management role in a large company. And I got up one morning, went to work like any other day. And that afternoon, I can't remember how I got home. Essentially what happened was my nervous system had shattered and I got diagnosed with very severe anxiety and depression. And I guess the journey back to good health very much was assisted by my own pet, my own dog and myself being accepted into an assistance dog training program. And that allowed me to get out and leave home. It helped me, I guess, engage more with society, and it gave me the motivation to start a charity that would actually make it a little bit easier for people to find the kind of animal assisted support to help them with their recovery than it was for me.
Thank you. So what are your goals with Animal Therapies Limited?
So we've just launched we've had two significant steps since we were established. So one of the first things that is a big milestone for us is the national conference that we held and that we were speaker at. And we had people travel over Australia. Every single territory and state was represented at that conference. We had over 130 people attend both days. And it was just wonderful to bring so many people together that have a passion for animal services, to really understand more about the ways that they can help people with a variety of different conditions. The next milestone that we've achieved, we're happy about, is the deployment of a national directory. So that it has service across the of animal assisted services. So just to clarify, animal assisted services is the umbrella of 4 different types of services. So you've got animal assisted therapy, which involves an animal, could be a horse, could be a dog, could be a variety of species, and an allied health professional. So it could be an occupational therapist, a psychologist, a speech pathologist, a psychotherapist, counsellor, mental health worker. Then the next bucket is animal assisted learning. So those practitioners are learning and development professionals, and they aim to facilitate certain learning outcomes as a result of having animals working side by side with them and their clients. Then the other bucket is assisted activities. Now, the handlers of the animals that are involved in these types of activities, which would be taking the animals to visit, say, people in aged care, people in hospitals, going in to visit people in a variety of different settings, like university when there are exams, to help relieve stress. Those handlers may not have any specific qualifications. They may have gone through a training and certification program like Delta, in order to ensure that the animal is suitable to going in and essentially interacting with a whole range of different types of people in those kind of settings. And then the fourth service that fits under the animal assisted services bucket is the assistance animal trainers. So obviously training dogs, primarily dogs, to help somebody with a disability or psychosocial condition, hearing impairment, vision impairment, to better access public life by having that dog trained specifically in tasks to help them. So that's, I think, in terms of our goals, we'd like to continue to, I guess, help develop the sector in terms of professional and ethical standards, certainly to make sure that all the animals' welfare is considered in terms of working side by side with people in these types of services, and connecting more people in need to these types of programs, because we really believe that they're very effective, certainly for certain population groups that we've observed are better helped by incorporating an animal into the practice than, say, a mainstream office-based type of therapeutic program.
Thank you. And have you been surprised by the level of interest, the level of activity around Australia since you started?
Oh, really? Yeah, it's just been amazing, Susan. It's really grown organically, and you know, to look at how far we've come from when we were established to where we are now, and the level of support is just wonderful. It certainly is a young sector. It's certainly growing. We certainly have to make sure that it grows in a way that's safe for animals and humans that are involved in the sector. So we're very cautious in terms of making sure that we put in place the processes and the necessary ethical standards, to ensure that growth is safe. But I think one of our biggest challenges will be to in the advocacy space around the funding bodies, getting the funding bodies to recognise our sector as a legitimate sector that can really deliver the outcomes that is so much needed in society today, especially with the growing mental health challenges that we face. And certainly right now, we know how much pressure there is on people in terms of anxiety and stress and uncertainty around the future. So trying to, work with those funding bodies, advocating for the sector is going to be a critical part of our work moving forward, as well as growing the quality and professionalism and ethical standards as far as the service providers.
Thank you. And I think certainly there'll be a need for our graduate students who will be expert in animal behaviour and animal training in this sector in the future.
Absolutely. And hopefully we can, we are in the process of designing a careers page, and on that careers page we would like to have an opportunity for students like yours to be able to do placements and certainly internships as well, and possibly mentoring for practitioners as well. We find that there is quite a demand for people looking for a career in this sector.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I'm just going to stop the recording for now. The connection has been okay throughout, but just in case it's going to go pear-shaped, I'm